Members of the group of 24 developing economies called the G24, who are in Lima, Peru for the IMF and World Bank Summit, say they want better international representation. Now, the group's aim is to coordinate the position of developing countries on monetary and development issues.
Okay. I want to know if in the meeting with the minister
Ha pasado mucho tiempo desde que estas instituciones fueron creadas y los países emergentes y en desarrollo han ganado relevancia en el Producto Mundial y la deben tener también en la...
Our correspondent in Lima now, Raúl Mora, has more on the IMF's and the World Bank's annual meeting.
Finance authorities from around the world are visiting Peru this week for the annual meeting of the IMF and the World Bank. The heads of those organizations insisted that the work they're doing is producing positive results.
We are going to, while we remain confident about ending extreme poverty, the final stretch will be extremely difficult because we're in the midst of a period of slow growth, the end of the commodity supercycle, pending interest rate hikes, and the continued flight of capital out of emerging markets. After a decade of strong growth and tremendous social progress, Latin America, like other regions, is facing headwinds.
Even without considering the current economic crisis, many common Peruvians have questioned the alleged success of those financial institutions. Máxima Acuña is one of those, and she has become a symbol of protest against the development plans implemented in Peru and the recommendation of the World Bank and the IMF. Yanacocha, the U.S. mining company which has tried to invade her land, received $83 million from the World Bank, and he pays Peruvian police to do tasks.
For the police to hit us, to mistreat us, for there to be hundreds of police officers in our homes, in our properties, grabbing us, kidnapping us, campesinos. That's probably what the money from the World Bank has given them. What other reason could it be? And what development is there in Cajamarca? They want to destroy our land.
Ahora las tierras lo quieren destruir ellos. Las aguas ya no tenemos.
Acuña is from Cajamarca, one of the regions which has had high foreign investment in mining and has contributed to the GDP growth of Peru. That growth has prompted the World Bank and the IMF to call Peru their success story. Cajamarca remains, however, one of the poorest areas in Peru, with close to 50% of its population under the poverty line. Raúl Mora, Telesur, Peru.
And at the same time as the IMF and World Bank Summit, an alternative meeting is also taking place there in Lima. Its organizers took to the streets this morning to protest against the big monetary organizations. Our correspondent Raúl Mora was also there.
Despite having no permit, a march started today at 10:30 a.m. under the banner "Belying the Peruvian Miracle," organized by an array of organizations which are part of an alternative conference to the IMF and World Bank annual meeting. The protesters plan to march for 8 kilometers from downtown Lima to the location where the World Bank and the IMF meeting is taking place. Those participating include the largest national labor union coalition called CGTP, the National Agrarian Confederation, and the youth movements such as the Zones, the Leftist Youth Forum, and the hip-hop activist bloc, who defeated a law that attempted to cut labor rights for young people as prescribed by the foreign financial organizations gathered in Lima. The goals of the march are to call attention to how the Peruvian model, that is the poster child of the IMF and the World Bank, has caused ongoing social conflicts that resulted in 94 civilian deaths in the last 5 years and has not resolved the grave problems with education, health, security, and income distribution in the country. Raúl Mora, Telesur, Peru.